waited several months before I returned to Baghdad. So much has changed since my last visit. There is a sense of tentative joy. Watched over by the statue of the famous Iraqi poet, Al-Mutanabbi, old men sing songs just like they used to. But their eyes look sad. I take a stroll down Mutanabbi Street, home to Baghdad's famous book market. This place has always been the cultural heart of the city. We Iraqis love our books. The cafes and tea houses lining the street were always a hangout for journalists, poets, and artists. I used to come here during the days of Saddam, when I was a university student. It was here that I bought my illegal photocopy of the Communist Manifesto, and all was 1984. Nowadays, they sell endless biographies of Saddam, next to books by Paul Bremer, America's former man in Baghdad. A year ago, Mutanabbi Street looked like this. The street was targeted by a car bomb, killing dozens of people. Our Prime Minister, Noor al-Maliki, vowed that he would rebuild the street. And so now, here it is, rebuilt.
It's bustling, again. It's the stereotype that everyone's using here. The question is this only a cosmetic surgery in the city? Has they only kind of refurbished the walls, the bricks, the windows, paved the road and the sewage? Or is it a genuine improvement in the situation? Have the people forgot their fears? Is it the end of the civil war?
I was on my way to a favorite cafe of mine. It was time for some tea and chat. When Mutanabbi was bombed last year, the cafe was left in a desperate state. Now the cafe is all gleaming, bright and new again. I almost feel like a tourist here. Then I get chatting to Osama.
شاي؟ اي شاي. شاي اثنين. بس بغداد رجعت تتمكيج. صح. اي رجعت. شوف مثلا شارع المتنبي صاير اليوم. تروح للعرصات تلقى فتحوا بها نوادي ليليه وهاي الامور. تروح لوناس تلقى الامور. شوف بغداد الادبيه بدت تنهض بالمتنبي. طبعا. بغداد الماجنه. بغداد السكيره رجعت ترجع الليل. هذا شيء حلو. صحيح. بغداد اجت فيها فتره من فترات رصاصيه ما بيها لون بس رجعت قلت لك انا نظريتي عن بغداد رجعت تتمكيج يصير هذا شويه سشوار وهاي الامور ترجع تو حلوه.
I love Osama's optimism and his portrait of Baghdad as a wayward secular place. But there's also something naive about his optimism. 10,000 civilians died in Iraq in 2008 during this year of peace and security.
The city is still divided. The people who left their neighborhoods to go live in other neighborhoods are still living there. Baghdad is demarcated between Sunni and Shia neighborhoods. Yes, people do travel between these neighborhoods, but when they choose to live, they will live only in their own sectarian neighborhoods. I still get the feeling that this is not the end of the war. This is just a big truce that's taking place between the warring factions.
The wars are still everywhere. It seems more confusing than ever, even to a Baghdadi like me.
I drove through the street 2 days ago with a very good friend of mine, and for 10 minutes we were so confused. We didn't know where we are, though we know this area very well. The whole geography of the city has changed between all these walls.
This is northeastern Baghdad. I've come back to the neighborhoods we visited last year, Shia Qahira and Kazmiya and Sunni Adamiya. We're back in the market where the Sunni militiamen have their checkpoints. But the men I photographed before have disappeared. Some of them are dead. The new ones won't let us film them for reasons of security. We filmed a memorial poster to their leader Abu Omer, who was murdered last August. You were the spearhead who led the Eagles of Adamiya, says the inscription in a typical flowery language. Your death is one more catastrophe to add to all the others. Abu Omer's brother, Tabarak, agrees to take me to his resting place, with an armed guard in tow. And so we return to Adamiya's makeshift cemetery, the one that used to be a children's playground before the walls went up. The grave diggers are less busy now, but this place will forever be a monument to the worst days of Iraq's civil war. And on a Thursday afternoon in 2009, the tears and the prayers still flow here. Tabarak tells me the story of how Abu Omer died in August.
إلا شخص مرتدي ملابس نسائية اللي هي عباية وتكرم حتى الجواريب اللي لابسها النسائية. فمن جاء عليه يعني أبو عمر بعد عنه تقريبا 3 أمتار أكثر. فمن جاء يركض عليهم صاد واحد من الحماية من انفجر يعني ابو عمر قلت لك بعد 3 امتار عليه فادى الانفجار يعني فد انفجار يعني ما يعني فد الناس تشوشت لانه فد صوت كلش قوي والانتحار اللي كان جاي يعني مو موت بس ابو عمر موت العالم الابرياء داير مدايره.
And then I meet this devastated mother. She tells me that the hatred's still there, that the killing hasn't stopped.
هم يقولون انه الوضع تحسن والقتل
لا بالقاهرة ماكو تحسين من جوا لجوا يخابرون على غير جهة تجي تاخذ تقتل. هم صحيح ماكو شيء بالقاهرة فشنو يتصلون بغير جهة على حيور على الثورة فيجون أهل الثورة ولا يقتلوهم. هو ايه يعني هم ذول اهل القاهرة ما حدوا عليه. خلونا نشوف الطلقات اللي يعني حتى طب العدل تعجب عليه والله من فوق لجوا كلها طلقات وحتى مقابل يعني ليش مسوي هذا والله ما ادري شو مسوي.
With everyone talking about improvement in security and everything is getting better and well, a year later, to see graves added here, to see families still grieving, still crying for their mourned sons, still here, the division is here. This is why Baghdad is divided, because the revenge, the blood of the people here.
Tabarak takes me to see the wall again for the last time. I think about the past 6 years. What has been achieved? The toppling of a dictator, several 100,000 Iraqis killed, trillions of dollars wasted, and nearly 5,000 dead coalition soldiers. All for this, so that the good people of Baghdad now live inside these concrete cages, talking wistfully of peace.
تتوقع يجي يوم تنشال هاي بين القاهرة والعظمية؟
ماكو شيء يعني اكثر من هاي اللي كنا نعاني المعاناه وراحت. هذا فشيء سهل انه الحمد لله انه القتل والجايه يعني وشغله الطائفيه ان شاء الله انتهت، فهذا الحاجز ان شاء الله ينشال.
Maybe he's right. Maybe the walls will come down soon. But I have the feeling it will take years.
The wall is still there. The bridge is still there. The checkpoints are still there. Inside the Sunni neighborhood, you have life. You have a wall and a highway and then a Shia neighborhood. And inside the Shia neighborhood, life is back again. But the communication between the two neighborhoods is not there again because there is still mistrust and there is still the fear. The wall is not only the only barrier separating this neighborhood from the next neighborhood, it's the fear inside the people here.
And the footbridge of my schoolboy memories? There is good news and bad news. The good news, people can cross it these days. The bad, they meet an armed guard when they get to the other side. The Baghdad of my childhood has disappeared. The city of walls is still standing.